The president met with the leader of Hungary while he was feuding with China, and his lawyer was trying to get Ukraine to meddle in the 2020 election. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Trump met today with the Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orban, a far-right authoritarian strongman who has curtailed democracy in his country, has almost total control of the media, has chipped away at the independence of the court, and has implemented a crackdown on immigration that has made him a pariah in Europe. Or, as Trump put it,
Viktor Orban has done a tremendous job in so many different ways, highly respected all over Europe. Probably, like me, a little bit controversial, but that's okay. That's okay.
A little bit controversial is not how you describe a wannabe dictator. That's how your aunt describes 50 Shades of Grey. That's a little bit controversial, but that's okay. They're having fun. Well, while Trump was palling around with the authoritarian leader of Hungary, he was also conducting a trade war with China. Today, China said it would impose retaliatory tariffs against the U.S., and the stock market plummeted as a result. But Trump shrugged it off, suggesting our economy was strong enough to handle it, while, as usual, sounding incredibly vague.
We're in a very strong position. Our economy has been very powerful. Theirs has not been. We've gone up a lot since our great election in 2016. And if you look at the numbers, they've gone down quite a bit. We're dealing with them. We have a very good relationship. Maybe something will happen.
Maybe something will happen? He sounds like a mafia boss doing a book report on a book he's never even heard of. To Kill a Mockingbird, it's about a mockingbird. He owes some people some money. Maybe something bad happened. Maybe the mockingbird had it coming. Could be. Let's just say you don't have to worry about anybody mocking anymore. Trump cast himself as a master deal maker, but what we're learning yet again is that he's actually terrible at making deals. This is what Trump does. He creates myths about himself until the truth comes out, like how he brags about his prowess at golf. For example, you might remember the time Trump held a roundtable with CEOs on how to bring back manufacturing jobs and made the CEO of General Electric tell a story about how Trump supposedly hit a hole-in-one.
Mr. President, good to see you again.
Good. Hi, Jeff.
Great to be here. Look forward to really working with you on creating more manufacturing.
Jeff actually watched me make a hole-in-one. Can you believe that? Should you tell that story?
We were trying to talk President Trump into doing The Apprentice. That was my assignment when we owned NBC. President Trump goes up to a par 3 on his course. He looks at the three of us and says, "You realize, of course, I'm the richest golfer in the world." So that's a comment. Then gets a hole-in-one. So I have to say, you know, I've seen the magic before. So.
It's a crazy. No, I actually said I was the best golfer of all the rich people. That's, to be exact.
I spit out my caviar. Just a true, right there. You have it, a true man of the people. A billionaire president who cheats on his taxes, yucking it up with a bunch of wealthy CEOs and bragging about how he's the richest golfer in the world is like an episode of The Twilight Zone written by Bernie Sanders. Imagine, if you will, a golfer. But this is no ordinary golfer. He's also the president and the CEO of the Twilight Zone. Roll the episode. There's a twist at the end. There's no hole. That's the twist. He's just golfing, there's no hole. Pretty good twist. Now, we all know Trump cheats at golf. He's notorious for it. In fact, there's an entire book about it called Commander-in-Cheat. That book came out last month, which means it came out in the same month as the Mueller report, a book about cheating at politics and a book about cheating at golf. This guy cheats so much, he had 2 separate books about cheating come out in the same month. Soon, it's going to be its own section at Barnes & Noble. There'll be books cheating at marriage. There'll be cheating at school. He'll have a book like cheating at cooking. And the sports writer who wrote the golf book said last month on CNN that it wasn't just the occasional game. Trump cheats in brazen and bewildering ways, even when he's playing the best golfers in the world.
You're not just saying he cheats. You're saying he cheats. I mean, he cheats on all of it.
He cheats like a mafia accountant. Like, he cheats crazy. He cheats whether you're watching or not. He cheats whether you like it or not. He tried to cheat Tiger Woods in a match, and Tiger hits it like this. He hits 2 balls in the water, doesn't count either, and pretends that he almost tied Tiger Woods.
He tried to cheat against Tiger Woods. That's like challenging LeBron James to a slam dunk contest and bringing a ladder. So I guess it's a draw. Both dunked. And then last week, we got maybe the craziest cheating story yet from that same author involving a guy named Ted Virtue, the CEO of a New York investment firm. Virtue was at Trump's golf course in Florida with his son. Now, this was while Trump was already president. Here's how the story starts. Trump sees Ted on the 9th hole and decides to drive his cart over. He tells Ted, congrats on winning the club championship, but you didn't really win it because I was out of town. And if you're curious where Trump was when he says he was out of town, Trump was meeting with Kim Jong-un in Singapore. This guy was at a high-stakes nuclear summit with the leader of a rogue nation, all bummed out he was missing the club tournament. Can you imagine the amount of whining and moaning Kim Jong-un had to put up with? You better disarm because while I'm here, Ted Virtue is winning my tournament. Translate that to him. And tell him Ted Virtue's a real jerk. Say it. Well, the story gets weirder from there. Because Trump challenged Virtue and his son to play for the club championship on the spot. They get to a hole with a big pond in front of the green. Both Ted and his son hit the ball on the green, but Trump hits his in the water. By the time they get to the hole, though, Trump is lining up the son's ball, only now it's his ball and the caddy has switched it. The son is like, that's my ball, but Trump's caddy goes, no, this is the president's ball. Your ball went in the water. Ted and his son look at each other confused, not sure if this is really happening. Oh, it's happening. Everything you're not sure of is happening. But this is what Trump does on stuff as big as trade or as small as a ball hit in the water. He makes you question your sense of reality. He's like a guy who only kind of knows how to Jedi mind trick you, but instead of actually convincing you, he just keeps saying it until you get irritated and give up. This is not the ball you're looking for. No, yeah, that is actually my ball. No, it's not. Yeah, no, it definitely is. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Fine, whatever, just take it. You just got Jedi'd. But there's a revealing part of this story, and it involves what happens when Trump actually tries to play in regulated matches with rules, where he can't cheat. And this will shock you, he's not nearly as good.
He's played on television 10 times, Pebble Beach Pro-Am 7 times, and the Lake Tahoe thing 3 times. He's never made the cut at Pebble Beach, and at Tahoe, he's never finished in the top half. So when there's rules guys and cameras, he's not that good. When it's just his course, his caddy, his world, he's pretty good.
In fact, as a general rule, I would say Donald Trump looks much worse when there are cameras than when there are not. On paper, Trump is a 6'3" self-made business genius worth $10 billion who went to Wharton, lives in a gold tower, and won a presidential election. But on camera, he's a guy who openly colludes with foreign adversaries, sweats like he's chugging hot sauce at the end of a marathon, and can't pronounce words that are longer than 2 syllables.
Every single car out there, even the really expensive ones, controlled by large earners, 10,000 known or suspected gang members.
Suspected, as in everyone suspected that Trump cheats at golf, but now we're positive. Here's the thing, you guys. Trump might be the most prolific cheater in the Republican Party, but he's not alone. The ranks of the GOP are filled with guys who know they can only win if they cheat, which is why they're so dedicated to passing voter suppression laws, stacking the courts, and accepting the help of foreign countries interfering in our elections. In fact, over the weekend, we got some news of a very bizarre plot by Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to go to Ukraine and seek their help in the 2020 election.
President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, planning to travel to Ukraine soon. The New York Times reports he will ask that country's new president to investigate the origin of Special Counsel Mueller's Russia investigation. Giuliani will also press Ukraine to look into Joe Biden's son's involvement in a gas company owned by a Ukrainian oligarch.
So Rudy's plan was to fly to Ukraine and dig up dirt on the Russia probe and Joe Biden? First of all, you don't need to go to Ukraine to dig up dirt on Biden. There are actual pictures of the dude sniffing hair and rubbing shoulders. And by the way, it's not like this wasn't weird at the time. I mean, look at the faces of the dudes on either side. They're like, should we go? second, think about how crazy this is. The president's lawyer is now just openly inviting the interference of foreign governments to dig up dirt on political opponents. Rudy basically even admitted it when he told the Times, we're not meddling in an election, we're meddling in an investigation, which we have a right to do. There's nothing illegal about it. Somebody could say it's improper. All right, I'll say it. It's improper. The best thing about Rudy is he just admits everything. We probably wouldn't have needed the Mueller report if we had just given Rudy a podcast. After the story broke, Rudy went on Fox News to announce that he wasn't going to Ukraine after all. But the weirdest part of the interview was when the anchor tried to end it and Rudy would not stop talking. Up until the point where the anchor pointed out that he was accidentally making more news.
I am actually quite confident that the facts with regard to former Vice President Biden are so compelling that there's no way he gets from here to the election without this being investigated.
Okay. So
tell me if this wouldn't be major news if it were the Trumps.
Mr.
What do you
Mayor,
think?
we're out of time. We're out of time, but
don't
listen.
Don't bother to answer.
I want you to tell me.
Just have your viewers answer.
But for now, we'll let the world know you're not headed to Ukraine.
I'm not going.
All right.
And so they can call me before a
We're
committee.
out of time.
And maybe I'll take executive privilege or something or other. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh boy,
Or maybe
you're making
I'll
you're making
testify.
another headline tonight,
Well, let's see what
Mr.
can
Mayor.
happen. But
Thank you for dropping
they are
in.
really pathetic, and
We
they're
gotta go.
scared, and they're on defense.
All right, we gotta go. Thank you for dropping in. Great to see you.
Oh my God, Rudy. Rudy did not want that interview to end. Please don't send me back to the home. The nurses are mean to me. Also, only a Fox anchor would express shock and disappointment in making another headline. You just got the president's personal lawyer to say that he might invoke executive privilege if asked about a foreign trip to dig up dirt on a political opponent to meddle in a presidential campaign, meaning he's discussed that plan with the president himself. Fox anchors react to news like when your 5-year-old admits too much when you get to a birthday party. We're late because we stopped at the store with bottles to buy some daddy juice. All right, that's enough. That's not for them to know. But this is what it's like inside the bubble, whether it's cheating at golf or cheating at politics. When these guys are in their own little world, they operate by their own rules. That's why Trump has so much affection for strongmen. He thinks he's above the law, or as Fox News would put it, he's
A little bit controversial, but that's okay.
This has been A Closer Look.